Chairperson of the Black Alliance for Peace Coordinating Committee with an editorial.
I'm Wiza Muntali, host of African Now, and
Here we go.
WPFW, Washington.
This is
Make It Plain.
Make It Plain.
MIP
With Masamela Matfumo.
Mark
Make It Plain.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of MIP on 89.3 FM WPFW. And there's so many things to talk about, but we only have an hour. First of all, let me give you our number, 202-588-0893. Undoubtedly, today we're going to continue to deal with what is happening right in Washington, D.C. What is really taking place in terms of the occupation of Washington, D.C. on the part of federal troops and some of Trump's federal agencies, even though there are already countless federal agencies operating in Washington, D.C., doing their jobs. But now this has escalated into something else, which is more than problematic. We're going to be talking with one of the young brothers who is in this fight. And the challenge really for a lot of our young people is what it is we are going to do, what accountability they will have to face. And we talked with Nene Taylor last week of Harriet's Dreams and Free DC, and we talked to Ron Hampton of the National Black Police Association. And what did we conclude? We know that the goal is to instigate and provoke. In the movement, we call those agents provocateur. That's what we want. At least that's what they want to come to fruition. That's what they want to happen. And we can't afford to play into that, because at the end of the day, this is really a highlight reel. This is really, for the right wing, it is a pilot for an updated reality show episode of Cops. Okay. And this is a reality TV show star. That's how he came to be. That's how he made his bones. And we can't give him that. We got to fight. We got to resist. But we can't give him what he wants or what they want. And ultimately, that is some type of confrontation, some type of violent confrontation at that, some type of physical resistance that they can use against our people and against this movement. And so that's really kind of where we are right now. That really is what is facing us. Want to get your thoughts on this too. 202-588-0893, 202-588-0893 is a number to call. Have any of you had any of these types of encounters with the police or with the federal authorities, or with the National Guard, or with ICE, or with the FBI in Washington, D.C. since this order has come down? Now, to be clear, a president can only do this for 30 days before Congress has to extend it. And so that fight is on to make sure Congress doesn't extend it. So we are asking people, the question is being asked of people. Free DC Project is asking people to reach out to their members of Congress. That's what they're asking people. But that's the way it goes. So it'll go to Congress, and Congress has to make some kind of a decision as to whether or not they're going to extend this situation. Extend what Donald Trump has done through this executive order. Home rule is an issue. this cuts to the heart of home rule. Now, he's on his way to sending the National Guard and everybody to Chicago. Looks like Baltimore is next. What happened to states' rights? You know, that was something that was sacrosanct on the right. States' rights. The sovereignty of the state. 10th Amendment. She was going to send, but by the way, we're only going to send these agents, all these people, we're only going to send them to predominantly Black cities, predominantly urban cities. I was on a conversation last night with Santita Jackson, whose brother will be joining us in the next hour, not on PFW, but on my live, on Make It Plains Live, and my live on Instagram, Minister with 2 T's. I'll repeat that. Santita Jackson, and I was on her show, and we were talking about how there have not been deployments of the National Guard, military, in cities where mass shootings, some cities where mass shootings have been perpetrated by whites or people not of color. Why is that? We have all these mass shootings in this country. Why isn't there deployment in those places? Why not? 202-588-0893, 202-588-0893. That's not a good thing. And it says that Black communities specifically, brown communities specifically, are being targeted. Militarization, the militarization of the police has never been a solution. It has never stopped crime or ended crime. That's never made the difference. It's never stopped violence. And first of all, it's only been done a few times, and it didn't work then. There's not a lot of history to this, but this is what people do when they just got to make a show. When they got to make a statement or do something showy or appeal to the base, or perhaps distract from something else. Be they the Epstein files or God knows what is still out here. Your thoughts, 202-588-0893.
One caller.
Caller, God bless you. You're on the air. What's your name, caller?
I'm Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, so what you said earlier about staying disciplined, don't give them a reason, you're absolutely right. They're just aching to like do something against us if we do something against them. So we got to maintain our cool, discipline, stay in the streets, stay vocal, demonstrate, march, do all the stuff we've always done, stay together. I just want to tell you from Northwest DC, I work in Northwest. Right now I'm in Friendship Heights. Traffic is down, pedestrian traffic is down, but guess what? There ain't no National Guard out here, right? Because there's not many Black and brown people on this street right here, right? So Town, Friendship Heights, these are upper crust, middle crust, white neighborhoods. I just want to tell you, as a white guy, they're not here. I ain't seen no National Guard, all right? None, zero, right? But I'm sure if I drove to Columbia Heights or Southeast, Anacostia, I'm going to see some National Guard, but not up here. Nothing. Just want to report from this area.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Very
and,
interesting.
And you say where are you again? You're in Frederick?
I'm in Friendship Heights.
Friendship Heights. I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm by the corner of Willard Avenue and Wisconsin Avenue. DC line goes into Maryland, right? And I travel down to Tenleytown, and I walk around, and I'm working down here, and there ain't nobody on the street with National Guard, nothing. And the traffic is down. People go into medical buildings. There's not lines of cars going in like there usually are to medical buildings. There's not much traffic. I drove around to work today easily. No rush hour around here that I saw. I just want to let you know that, even white people are staying off the streets, not normally coming out as they usually are.
Interesting. But if there's no guard there, why do you think even they are staying off the street, Joe?
You know what? I've been asking myself that. Out of fear, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get pulled over. A million things going through my mind right now. I don't know how to answer that.
Well, but now we're talking about Friendship Heights. I guess we can say it would be considered a city that votes liberally or progressively or democratically, right?
Yeah, I did see DC statehood signs up as I was coming down Western Avenue from Chevy Chase Circle today. They weren't there on Friday. So even the upper crust activists are starting to put out signs out against this administration. Yeah.
That's the only solution for DC.
They voted for Kamala Harris. They voted for Joe Biden.
One more caller.
But, we still have the race issue. There's no question. We still have the money issue. Okay, and that's involved here. He's going after the poor and working class. He's not going to people that have the stock market money coming in and the fancy homes and retirements. He's not going after those people. He's going after the people who work every day, who struggle for a living. I went down to the visit with the White House on Saturday, right? And I parked in the neighborhood of Friendship Heights, and I took this long metro escalator down into the bowels of the metro system. It's a real deep hole here in Friendship Heights. There was nobody, and I say zero, I got a film to prove it, nobody on the escalator but me. When I got down to the platform, there was one person, and I said to the guy, where's somebody? He says, I don't know. This is so strange. It was eerie, like we were in some kind of a fake movie. Like, where's the people at? Now, as I took the metro, Tenleytown to Van Ness UDC, down to Cleveland Park, down to Woodley Park, down to the zoo, down to DuPont Circle, people started getting on. Yeah, but when I was here Saturday morning at 10:30, there was nobody on the escalator. Zero. Very eerie. Yeah,
it is eerie. Joe, thank you for sharing, okay?
You're welcome. You're welcome very much.
Appreciate you. Have a good day. We've got another call on the line, 202-588-0893. Caller, your name, please.
This is Rick calling you long distance from Germany, brother.
Hey, brother, what's going on?
I just want to say that Trump is not going to deploy the National Guard to states like Michigan or Colorado, where whites are armed and threatening things like kidnapping of governors. He's not going to deploy National Guard to those two states and other states like it, where white racists and white supremacists are standing up. And there are about 20 million whites of relative good health and arms who are prepared for civil war there in America. Trump is not going to speak to that either. I'm done, brother man.
Wait, say that last part again. Who's prepared for civil war?
There are 20 million whites of relative good health and small arms, armor-piercing ammunition, who are prepared for war with the government, who are prepared for civil war there in America. Trump is not going to speak to that.
Where are you getting the 20 million number from, Rick?
You have to check it out, brother. You have to dig for it.
Well, I mean, you said it. Why you can't just tell us? I mean, where did you read that? Where did you see that number?
It was given to me by word of mouth.
Okay, this is something classified.
It's not classified. It's not classified. Trump threatened America with civil war if he lost the election to Joe Biden. He did that, and then he went silent on whites being prepared for civil war there in America.
Okay. Well, thank you, brother. By the way, Joe, by the way, Rick, what you doing in Germany? Oh, he hung up.
He's gone.
Okay, no problem. I've been meaning to ask him that, what's going on in Germany. But glad to know we have people like that who are okay. So I think this may be is this? No, that's not right.
We can take a break if you need to.
No. Well, yeah. Let's do that real quick because I'm trying to get my guest on. Let me figure that out.
All right.
Take a quick break. We'll take a quick break.
Are you ready to move, groove,
Just let me know when you're ready, Rev.
WPFW family? WPFW's annual 5K Run Walk for Total Fitness happens Saturday, September 13th from 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. This fundraiser will be held at the Bladensburg Waterfront Park, 4601 Annapolis Road in Bladensburg, Maryland. In addition to a scenic 5K trail, fitness and wellness classes will be offered. Lively music to fuel your...
And you have another caller if you need to take it.
Along with water and healthy snacks will be provided. Details are at WPFWFM.org or call 202-888.
Do you want me to play another PSA or are you good?
Something for everyone to enjoy. WPF.
All right, go straight to the next call. Okay.
You don't see Fred Redmond anywhere. I'm not seeing him. They say he's in.
No, I sure don't. Here we go.
All right, folks, we're back. Let's get another call in 202-588-0893. Caller, God bless you. What's your name?
Good morning. My name is Kurt X, and I agree with Rick from Germany. We need to arm ourselves. We don't have to use them, but we need to know how to use them. These white people are in all these red states are armed to the teeth, and they can't wait.
Well, not all of them.
I didn't say all. I said some. Most.
But we don't know. We don't know that.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm imagining that most people in the red states have guns, and they know how to use them. Most black people don't know nothing about guns. They never been in the military. You better arm yourself, Black America. Civil rights ain't gonna help you. You're gonna have to arm yourself.
But my brother, over the years, I don't know how constructive it's been when people say that out loud. You know what I mean? Hello, you there? Did we lose him?
I think he's on.
You think he's on?
I don't hear him talking.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how constructive it is. Just said we just need to get armed, and doing that in such a way, and if we're not prepared, we can't really fight the military on our own. And as you said, my brother, most people aren't trained in military warfare, so they're not gonna know what to do. They're not going to, and there's just too many. I mean, it'd be an overwhelming. One of the reasons the nonviolent movement, civil rights movement, was not just for faith, solely for faith and religious purposes. It was practical. because we didn't have the ammunition and resources to get this done. It just wasn't working. That's so, you know, I don't know how constructive it is. I know a lot of people said, oh, we need to be armed. But I don't know how helpful that is in what we're trying to get done. (202-588-0893). Yeah, I mean, you know, we say those things, and then, you know, they hear that, and then they double down. That's why I've never been a big fan of announcing that on the radio or on television. We need to get armed. You know, everybody doesn't need to know what we doing either. I remember when the Charleston massacre occurred at the church, and a lot of brothers called the show and says churches need to be armed. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I don't know that we need to be making those kinds of announcements either. That's not strategic. Same thing with what's going on the ground in DC. How strategic is it to do that? How? I mean, it's not very strategic at all. (202-588-0893). You said we have another call?
2 more.
All right, caller, God bless you. First, go right ahead. You're on the air on WPFW 89.3.
Yes, my name is Robert Moses. I'm concerned about this situation in terms of armed struggle, etc. I think we've been in an armed struggle throughout history. Just a matter of recognizing it. They've been trying to genocide us and been discriminating against us forever. When I was in the Army, I ran the armory. I believe, you know, the best way to arm the people, though, is through education and organization. And, you know, that's how we arm the people. And you know, we need to have clear understanding of what's going on. You know, they're trying to resurrect Israel, and that's a reactionary movement. We got Taiwan is trying to get independent. That's a reactionary movement. And we got Ukraine trying to get independent. That's a reactionary movement. So we're faced with a lot of problems here. And the first thing we do, though, is get ideologically and mentally armed.
Yes.
And I was right there. Thank you.
Mentally and educationally ideological. Okay, we have our guest now. There he is. I found him. Fred Redmond is the Secretary Treasurer of the AFL-CIO. Fred, how are you, man? Fred, can you hear me? We can see Fred, but we can't hear him. Fred, can you hear us, man? Maybe not. I don't know if he's got his audio up, and it looks like Fred might be on his phone. But Fred, I'm talking to you. Can you hear me? Yes, no. I don't think he can hear us. All right, let me try to do a little something in.
Can you hear us, Fred? I got callers if you need to.
Let's go. Caller, God bless you. Go right ahead.
Oh, go to the next one.
Caller, God bless you. Go right ahead. What's your name?
Ayo. I believe that we should recognize that this is really a very illegitimate government, that this is a coup d'etat. This is a seizure of the local government by a bunch of thugs. We know that they have no business being in power. We know they rigged the election to get where they are. We must acknowledge, by not even referring to Trump as the president, but as the chief predator, Predator, and all his parasitic boys and girls that work with him are carrying along as if he's the king, and he ain't no king. So if we first understand that he was selected to do what he's doing, and he is a puppet really on a string like the Wizard of Oz, and we have to use the people's power to do a citizen's arrest. And all you National Guards people out here, you got the power to not do anything but surround that Oval Office and realize that the masses of the people do not want that crew in there. The masses of the people want civility. But this administration is so evil, so intent, so stuck on a Netanyahu process profile that they think they can do the same thing they're doing to Gaza right here in Washington, D.C. So we know we're smarter than this. We know we can rise above this madness, and we will, because this dying empire is really on its last leg. And this is the last straw, taking over the nation's capital.
Yep. You're right about that. There's no question about that. And what do you think about caller conversation?
She dropped. We have another one though if you need it.
Caller, God bless you. Go right ahead.
You speaking to me, brother Masamela?
Yes. Who's this?
This is Brother Ron Bethay.
Hey, Ron, what's happening, man?
Well, brother, everybody seems to be missing the boat. Everything starts with energy and everything ends with energy. In 2024, there was a meeting called by the gentleman. I don't refer to him as a gentleman. Refer to him by the convicted felon, and the fossil fuel industry and the tech industry.
Mm-hmm.
And the question was, and Politico reported on this, put up $1 billion and you can do whatever you wanted to do. Well, at that time, the regulatory entities that control the wholesale price of energy is called the PJM. It's composed of 13 states in the District of Columbia, has 65 million customers. For a megawatt day, those consumers, we were spending $34.17, equivalent to $2.2 billion, which was passed on to directly to us as consumers. After Trump called that meeting, the wholesale auction for 2024 jumped up 686% to $269 per megawatt day, meaning we were paying in the same 13 states in D.C. $14.7 billion on our electricity bills. Willie Phillips, who was tapped by the Biden-Harris administration, first black man to head the Federal Regulatory Commission, former head of the D.C. Public Service Commission, was the head of the Federal Regulatory Commission in 2024. Governor Shapiro of Pennsylvania filed a lawsuit in December of 2023 to block an 800% rate hike that we would have gotten hit with in June 1 of 2025. That was a $21 billion rate hike. Now, all this is being driven by three things: artificial intelligence, crypto mining, and blockchain, and it's being because of data centers, and they're using natural gas and turbine power plants to power those data centers. They have just broken ground in Northeast Louisiana, which is Mike Johnson's district, to build the largest data center in North America, which is big enough to fit 1,700 football fields, power 1.34 million homes. You don't have 1.34 million homes in the whole state of Louisiana.
So relate that to
and this is how this is related to what is happening into the streets of the DC right now. Without those southern states receiving the Biden raised $133 billion, $199 billion went to those red states through the Inflation Reduction Act, which none of those Southern and GOP representatives voted on, but they voted against their own interests. As long as we are hoodwinked and thinking that the issue is just around what we physically see in the streets and not checking and understanding that if folks stop, we got to pay our gas, water, and electric bills. But if we stop that, like Brother Dick Gregory said, for 60 days, this madness will stop, brother.
All right. Ron, I thank you, brother. Thank you for your call, man. Okay. Sisters and brothers, we're going to talk more about what's going on in DC right now. And joining us is a young brother who's been out in the street and doing a lot of great work. Our dear brother Diego Floyd, he's a recording artist, a rapper, director of Crowns Incorporated. Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Alaikum salam, Reverend Mark.
How are you, sir?
I can't complain. I'm honored and blessed to be up here with you to discuss this.
It's an honor to have you, my brother. So you've been out in the streets,
yeah,
DC, haven't you? What are some of the things you've witnessed?
So, as an artist, we got to, things have changed in 2025. So, I developed a podcast, the content creation, things like that. So, you constantly looking for subject matter stuff to talk about, etc. But when this stuff hit right home, it was almost like a perfect explosion. I went out down Anacostia Park where they house all the federal agents and the military agents that are patrolling our neighborhoods. But a lot of people don't know it's right at Anacostia Park. And I filmed some content right there. And leaving there, I witnessed some individuals who were just doing construction work. And there was one Hispanic gentleman there. He was one of the drivers. By the time I was done recording that content and driving back to the office, they had them pulled over on the side of the road to check the legality, the citizenship of the Hispanic man. And byproduct of that, all the black gentlemen that was with him had to have their information ran too. And so I sat out there with them for about 15, 20 minutes as they checked each and every one of those gentlemen to make sure that they were legal. I mean, these guys did nothing wrong. They were driving in Anacostia Park looking for wherever they were supposed to set up their flagging station, and they were pulled over by ICE or Homeland Security, or both. And this is the scary part about it, is that, they're not in no cruiser that you can recognize 50 feet away. I mean, they're putting up in Subarus, Kias, family vans, pickup trucks, anything and everything. Nissan Altimas. We had a situation the other night, I think we're going to talk about it in a second, but they came out in every sort of car you can imagine to pull up on us. And actually, we were outside planning community events for the lost ones in the neighborhood.
So do they identify themselves? Are they wearing any identifying clothing? I mean to ask.
So the individuals that was in Anacostia Park, they had masks up. They talk about the kids now, they talk about the shiesty mask and all that. Well, these guys were federal agents of some sort, no identifying badge number, mask up to here. And the guys who came out overnight, some of them, the MPD officers had their badges out, but many of them didn't. There was Secret Service, there was ATF, DEA, Homeland Security. Every agency, and some of them did, and some of them didn't. The guys with the big guns, you didn't see their badge number. I mean, these guys had AR-15s with silencers on them in the middle of the night. They're reporting now on the news that the National Guard is now able to carry weapons, but they've been carrying weapons inside these neighborhoods for the last week or two. Big weapons.
So you said they came for you and others. Tell me about that.
So I can't say for sure if they came for me or not, but I've been very vocal. That's the general consensus at this point. I've been very vocal, and when you bring this stuff to their doorstep, I'm no idiot. Like, I'm sure your audience probably knows all about the COINTELPRO and all of these different things. Now in 2025, you'll laugh and call somebody arrogant to assume that someone's paying attention to them or they're on some sort of radar, but if you know, you know. And so I'm not saying that this was specifically for me, but they knew that we were sitting there congregating for at least 20, 25 minutes before they pulled up on us. And mind you, this is what I'm saying. I mean, it wasn't I know a lot of the narrative is that this is about DC's YN community. This is about we are grown men. We are grown men with families. We were outside trying to figure out a way to revitalize our community. I've heard a lot of pushback saying, man, why you out there? You know, people who hold me in a certain regard. What you doing sitting on the block? Hold on, man. We not breaking no laws or violating no crimes. We've been around each other for 20, 30 years. Today marks the anniversary of one of our younger brothers. I mean, we are out there mourning and grieving, and sometimes you need community. It's not something to vilify or criminalize. Or the genius thing, what they do is make us look at us sideways and make us hate what we hate us. Oh man, you know them young guys, they deserve it. You know them kids crazy. Or what you doing sitting on the block? We try to figure out how to protect our block. That's what we doing sitting on the block. We try to figure out how to give each other hope and inspiration. This is what we was doing out there. We wasn't out there selling drugs or shooting no guns. And this is what we're telling the officers. On my Instagram page, you can hear we're telling them, hey, man, somebody's committing violent crime somewhere right now. Why are you here for an hour and a half holding us hostage?
Wait. You mean to tell me you are aware or have some notion that there are actual violent crimes taking place and they don't go, they stay there and harass y'all?
I think what our notion is that somewhere in DC, something is happening that is more pertinent than you harassing us. We had a gentleman be arrested. One of my brothers was locked up, and he did nothing. There's a house on the same street where he stays at. He's walking in the house or walking towards the house as they're coming out the alleyway. If you look on the video, you can see it. I mean, he doesn't see them. He doesn't. He's halfway up the block. They see him though, right? And they rush down. I'm talking about with guns and everything. Next thing you know, they bring him out with handcuffs and got him up against the car for half an hour, 45 minutes, while they check this and check that. Took him away. Took him away. Said they found some weed in the yard. Oh, it's intent to distribute for a couple ounces of weed that they said was in the yard, not on his possession, nothing. So we got to be careful about this stuff. I know a lot of people have these misconceptions about, oh, well, it's illegal and this is that. Or I have a registered firearm. You think that people going to ask for your license and registration for that firearm before they blow your head off? I don't know. Not the climate that we're in right now. I don't know if your licensed weapon, if this license is going to matter, in this type of climate that we're in.
Yeah. So were you arrested yourself?
No.
Was anybody in the group you were with arrested?
No. I was able to, I called our sister Nene right there on the spot from Harriet's Dreams and Free DC, because they do a lot of this work in the street. And I wanted to make sure that I had another credible eyewitness, not just a phone call. I wanted to make sure before I go on Instagram, the police right here, so there's no need to call the police. But before I go anywhere else or even record it on my personal phone, I wanted to make sure the sister and anybody else could see for themselves what was going on and put their, because I know we get in court of law, then it turned to hearsay. No, I saw it. Saw it. And we was able to really, my guys, we very respectful, we law-abiding citizens, so it wasn't a stretch to tell the guys to stand down a bit, but could you blame them for being a bit emotional? Thank God I was there, because I might have a bit of insight that some of my guys might not have. And so I was able to tell my guy, back up 3 feet. Just give him 3 feet. Zoom in on your camera instead of getting up. Let's find a way to prevent, because we got every right to document what's going on. Matter of fact, I believe that it is our documentation that might save some individuals from a far worse ending,
So which agencies were on you the other night? This was when, Saturday night?
This was Saturday night. Friday night. This is Friday night.
Okay.
Because today is Sunday, right? So this was the night before last, yeah.
And so which agencies? How many different agencies? Was this just DC Police or was this
other? No, DC Police was the minimal. So you had MPD, you had Homeland Security, you had ATF, DEA, you had I want to say the National Guard. They didn't have any identifiers on, right? But they had the military guard. You had, I said Secret Service. I'm missing somebody. Park Police. And then some of them were in vehicles that didn't have it. Most of them were in vehicles, maybe 2 or 3, a Nissan, a pickup truck. And So one of the guys, you couldn't tell what agency he was with. I know I'm missing somebody. I mean, there was about 7 or 8. FBI. How you forget the FBI? So these guys had, I'm talking about guns that was so big, right? And I'm telling them on camera, hey, I got PTSD, brother. You got this big gun, and I'm asking y'all to lower your weapons. We not doing nothing wrong. And then I'm asking, and my comrade was asking, why do you have so many mags? And like, are we at war? You know, I got comrades that been in the military. They know the procedure. So they're coming inside these neighborhoods thinking they just harassing some ignorant guys, but we well equipped and well aware about what's going on. You coming in with a military tactic and procedure, this as if you're in enemy land. And I'm telling them I'm an American citizen. This is an American community. What have I done? What have we done to warn you all coming into our community armed like this with silencers? What's the silencer for on these weapons? And once we started to show the camera to these officers, talk about what we're talking about to these officers, they went and put the big guns away and came back out, you know, without the guns. But this is very real. And thank God that we did say something, because otherwise, I mean, imagine if you're 16, however old you are, and you just out there and you got these guns. I mean, that got to be traumatic and traumatizing, to say the least.
How many of you were out there together, Diego Floyd?
I want to say 5 or 6. 5 of it. It was 5 of us out there at that time. The young lady had just pulled up. I mean, this girl was pitching us credit repair and how we could workshop and do, you know, corner style workshops about, you know, these different things. I mean, we trying to build. We not trying to destroy. We trying to build. And so it was about 5 or 6 of us out there, and maybe 25 agents, you know, at its max capacity.
25 on 5.
No, for sure. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And we know crime exists. So they could have gone anywhere else and probably run up on something.
They could have gone everywhere else. You know, here's the thing, man, just their presence alone is intimidating. Y'all don't got to sneak through no alleyway. If you want to deter crime, you know where the high crime areas are. We haven't had no murders, no killings, no robberies on our block in 20 years. I mean, so why are you over here messing with us? Except for you feel like it's an easy pluck. You saw us right here. You knew we wasn't doing nothing. The guy said, oh, it's a liquor bottle right there. I can lock you up. I said, for what? He said, the liquor bottle, that's your bottle. I said, it's a building right here too. Do I own the building? Is this my block? I mean, I'm out here, but matter of fact, I just came off a raw vegan detox. I ain't drunk in a week and a half. Right? So, I mean, these things are just preposterous. And we just got to be well educated and well aware.
Diego Floyd with us. Well, my brother, do I call you Diego or Floyd World?
Floyd is fine. D Floyd is fine. Whatever.
You the man. Folks, your calls 202-588-0893. Young brother out here. How old are you, brother?
I'm at 38. I'll be 39 soon, God willing.
So are you still going out with folks at night into the street while this continues to go on, in spite of what happened to you over the weekend?
Yeah, so we still I'm on my way to court as soon as I get off the phone with you. So I'm trying to make sure this thing doesn't keep me captive to whatever the mission is at hand. So yeah, we still going out trying to galvanize the community. More or less than anything, trying to make them aware. I'm doing a lot of work with Far Southeast, all these different agencies, to try to make sure that we can get people abreast of what's going on, let them know. I know we say know your rights, but the reality is with this type of situation, rights, these people don't look for rights. They're not asking you. We had to tell them they didn't have our consent. We had, because we know our rights. We had to tell them you don't have our, they wanted to go through my car. Hey, you don't have consent to go through my car.
Right.
You don't have 30 minutes on the outside with flashlights going through every inch of it.
Right.
But if you don't know your rights, so we out there trying to educate people best we can, doing town halls and summits. And like I said, God willing, bringing this right to the corners, if need be, to educate the individuals that's out there, because, you know, the reality is, I know people say, well, go inside. Everybody don't got an inside to go to. Everybody's inside ain't so pretty. Some people find community and refuge, and they need it. You know, they need it. My brother was, you know, it'd be a year that he died a year. I need that camaraderie in that community. You can't vilify me for being around my brothers when I lost so many of them.
Yeah. You're right. What's the morale like though, as you are communicating with young people outside? How are people feeling? Is the morale up? Is it hopeful? Is it resistant? Is it depressed?
It's all of that. We walking and chewing gum. You know, it's a myriad of feelings. People are scared more than anything, but resilient we are. And even though we are scared, we got the fight in us. You know, I think in 2025 we have so much access to information. And so there was an old saying maybe a few years back, like, we're not our ancestors. Well, that's the fallacy, because a lot of our ancestors stood up and fought, right? I know the narrative is that they were slaves for such and such years, whatever. But a lot of our guys and strong women was boots on the ground, and they fought hard. It's the reason why we're free today. It's the reason why we got 600 years slavery and 400 years, right? So we got that to think of us. And I think a lot of us have the information from the leaders and the ancestors who did this thing before us. And so even though there is fear is just a human emotion. It's just an emotion, period, of things to live. My dog is afraid, you know, if I come to her too fast, right? So it's fine, but we don't submit to that. We use the information we have, and we try to find a way to fight back. That's the only way this thing is going to work. If we lay down, you know, we screwed, man. We screwed. So the morale is hopeful. It's resilient. It's scared. It's fearful. But it's not afraid. It's fearful.
Good. And lastly, do the young people get the significance of the argument for DC statehood and home rule? Are they getting that is essentially the heart of the matter? Now, mind you, he's going to send folk into Chicago and their states. That's a city-state, a city within a state, and Baltimore. But he's able to do it without any real pushback from the government in DC, because home rule is still very limited.
Yeah. So I think that goes right over their head. I don't think that it's connecting at all. I think there's so many messages being pushed at them. You know your rights. You know, go inside. Curfew. There's so many things at once. They don't know if they're supposed to walk in pairs or walk by themselves, because the curfew said if you were in a pair, now you're a criminal. Now we done criminalized you walking in groups. These kids are walking. I did a summer program for 12 weeks this year with about 30 to 40 kids that participated, teaching them how to take creative content, right? We gave them cameras. Far Southeast Fairlawn Family Success Center, we gave them cameras. And for 12 weeks, we taught them how to go tell their own story. And then the culminating event was at the Capitol Hills Boys Club Gallery right there on Marionberry Avenue. Old drug zone, an old free drug, open air drug market that these guys turned into an art gallery right in the heart of Southeast DC. And we put this big presentation on for these kids right there. But one of the key takeaways was some of these kids to come to our program were walking groups. Some of the kids they was walking with wasn't even in the program. They just walked together to make it to the space. I mean, that's a beautiful, I mean, these kids, they want something. And so, but they're afraid. And so they're going to walk in packs. You see them with the hoodie on. We like, man, what's wrong with these guys? But a lot of them wearing that hoodie to cover up their face so somebody don't shoot them because of what neighborhood they from or because of who their cousin or their friend is. We don't even understand what's going on. And so we judging it. And so I think they missing some of those fundamental things, but I think so are we. Yeah. And it's time for us to find a connection with them and not alienate them and say, see, this is all because of y'all. No, man, this is deeper than rap. This been going on for 200 years. We got to get hip, but we can't let them turn us on us. And that's what Malcolm said. You know, you turn on you, you know.
So, and it's, I promise, this is when I'll let you go. Nene,
I'm here all day with you.
Nene, we got about 5 more minutes. Nene was talking, and we've talked a few times about this.
Yeah.
They want to provoke us, don't they?
Yes.
And I'm sure that takes a lot of discipline.
Yes.
You know, I'm not as young as I used to be, but somebody don't start and there won't be nothing. So I probably don't need to come. I've already been told if I come down here, they just gonna meet me at Union Station and lock me up once I get off train. But how is that going in terms of letting the young people know don't give in to it because they want a video?
Oddly enough, I think it's going to be the breakthrough we've been needing for them, right? I think this situation more than ever. They might not know about home rule or this or that, but they know they don't know what's going on there. This is not the MPD. They come around, they mess with you, they harass you, right? This is not that. This is something bigger. This is something more powerful. It's terrifying even to them. And these kids not afraid of nothing. But like I said, they might be fearful, but they're not afraid. And so you just seen what happened over there. I think it was on 10th place or whatever when them cops rolled up on them. And them kids knew their laws. They knew their rights. They said, hey, am I free to go? Am I free to go? So much to the point where them cops or whoever they are, them agents, had to get back in their car and pull off. So shout out to everybody that's out there teaching them, because I think that's going to be the breakthrough. When those youngins see, oh, this do work. This does work. Now we got the buy-in. Y'all care enough for our lives to come equip us with some game that actually can save our life. Now you got the buy-in. Now you got their ear. I think that's what we all need. When the far Southeast opens their doors to say, hey, before school and after school, you can come here for a couple of hours. That's what they do. Because now they see, oh, man, I'm coming here, I'm get some food. And now they're not around 50 other guys. They're not around school classmates where they feel like there's this big obligation to be a certain way and perception is king. Now they can be a kid. Now they can relax. They can get some pizza, they get some chicken or a sandwich or whatever it is, some chips. And they can have a conversation with somebody that done been here before. That done experienced this and can talk to them and give them some insight and some wisdom and game. And that's all the kids want. That's all we want. Grown or not, we all just humans. And all we want is to be heard and to know that somebody cares. And I think shout out to and salute to everybody that's even yourself who's even giving me this platform. I mean, that's monumentous. That's incredible, because who knows who's going to hear this that didn't have this information, and then they can move forward with it.
We know WPFW is local radio in DC, so we got a lot of Washington DC listeners and DMV listeners. We've heard from a few already. Where can people find you, D. Floyd?
Hey man, I appreciate that. I'm on Floyd World on Instagram, and Crowns Incorporated is my nonprofit. That's on Instagram as well, with the Crowns with an S, not with a Z. And we right here everywhere. Like I said, Floyd World, everywhere you look, and you'll find me, for better or for worse.
For better, brother.
For better.
We appreciate you, man. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, brother. I appreciate you. Salute to you.
All right, we'll talk soon, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, take care now. Folks, we've heard it from a young man who's been out there with some of the young people experiencing this. We're going to continue to look at this in the days and weeks to come. Again, this can only run 30 days legally before Congress has to step in. If you need more information or just want to check some things out, freedcproject.org, freedcproject.org. All right, folks, make it plain on Facebook and YouTube, on X, even though I shouldn't be on there. And then on Instagram, minister with 2 T's. You know how you spell minister? Just put 2 T's in there. At the top of the hour, I'll be having a conversation with Jesse Jackson Jr. So you all might want to check that out as well, or check it out later as it lives on the live. Thank you to our production engineer, Michael Nacella. Thank you to the entire WPFW team. And thanks to you, the listeners, listening to MIP on 89.3. It has been made plain.